Hello. I'm Miss Theta Valley with my beautiful, darling co-host,
Hey everyone, it's Miss Maxine
Miss
Factor.
Maxine Factor, and we are two
Mm.
queens checking in.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you believe this? This is our 18th episode.
We're adults.
I
That's so
know,
exciting.
and I finally got my shit together and started on time.
There's a first for everything. Don't expect it next
Right?
week.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, since this is our third to last podcast for a while, for the foreseeable future, anyways, I was like, oh yeah, figures I'd get my shit together right before we were about to end it.
Did you did you set your alarm super early today?
No, I've actually just been waking up like for the first time in my life, like actually waking up like to the
Oh, on your
sun and
own.
shit.
Oh, welcome to Earth. It's nice to
Right?
have you.
43 years old, and it finally, my body's like, oh, okay, we got to
Yeah.
do this every day.
Yeah. It's like, sure, we could join in with the rest of the humans.
Yeah, okay, I guess we'll do that now. So I guess
Yes.
quarantine has been good for something because it definitely got my body on some kind of rhythm here.
And it only took 6 months of the quarantine for that to kick.
I mean, my body's a bit of a slow learner. Okay.
Well, you know those saying, your body is your temple and it acts how you treat it, so.
Yeah, well, mine's a persnickety crumbling bitch from hell that is probably haunted.
Well,
And
Hi,
has to.
James. How's it
Hi,
going today?
James. There's also booby traps. So, and I ain't talking about my tatas.
Oh, okay. I was actually just about to ask, were you referring to like your female bits or?
Not my actual lady bits.
Okay.
I'm talking about there'd be danger in some places, girl.
Well,
Oh my lord. Okay. Now I got to get my brain together and think about what the hell we were going to talk about this week. It wasn't my crumbling ancient body.
You just feel accomplished at the fact that you started on time. So
It's true. Like I'm just like pleased as punch about that, but that's
yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Oh my god. So I'm going to tell you I was I broke my nail yesterday. And my mom had given me some money to do my nails and keep up my nails because she wanted me to have something nice for
Nice.
myself. I
And you
know,
fucked it
right?
up.
Well, I broke it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, because can I ever have anything nice? No, I can't.
No.
So I went to go get it fixed, and there was this 952-year-old woman there, and she was bitching and complaining with the worker, trying to take her mask off.
Oh, I'm so sick of this.
And she was like, I'm just tired of COVID. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I don't want to wear this mask. It's so hot. And then come to find out, which is just the best part of the whole thing, is that she was referring to herself in third person. And she was like, and I was just like, Karen, I don't need to do it like this. And I was like, oh my God, you are an actual Karen. You are a stereotype of a Karen.
Wait, is her name actually Karen?
Yes, her name was actually Karen.
No shit.
I am not making this up. I wish I was making this up.
I wonder how many Karens are actually named Karen. That's the big question.
Almost fell out of my seat because I'm listening to this woman bitch about this, and the poor nail technician's just trying to agree the best she can in her limited
Even though she's
English.
Completely not agreeing with her because this woman wears a mask every single day to work for 8 hours straight before the coronavirus even, but
exactly, because they're dealing with all those chemicals and everything in the nail shop.
Yeah.
And so that was, but I am just I don't know. I'm really struggling, with all of the people that just can't seem to get their shit together and wear a
Hmm.
mask.
Yeah. And actually, yeah, the Karen thing, let me tell you, this will never be a bougie pick of mine, even though I have gone through down that rabbit hole. But oh my God, I've been seeing so many videos on YouTube lately that are, as I call them, the Karen's Gone Wild ones.
Yes.
But it's like, there's so many of these like anti-masker editions. And okay, first and foremost, I can't take it because you know as well as everybody else that you do not have a medical condition that keeps you from wearing a mask. Because if you did, you most likely wouldn't be out in public anyway.
Right.
Second off, I have a friend who has COPD and asthma and works 8 hours a day with a mask on.
Oh, look, you can
And
do it.
yeah, and doesn't bitch or moan. So I'm sorry, but who you voted for doesn't. I mean, yeah, it probably is considered a disability if you voted for him, but it's not a disability that keeps you from wearing a mask, bitch.
Yeah, my son actually has a deviated septum,
Hmm.
and cannot breathe through his nose,
Yeah.
very well at all, almost.
So he's a mouth breather, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
he's a mouth breather.
Yeah,
Poor kid.
I do mouth breathing. I've mouth breathed in my mask before, so
Well, and for him, like, he says that it does get very challenging when he wears the mask,
mhm.
with breathing and everything. But still, he's like, I'd rather wear the mask
Yeah,
than be a dumbass in public, even though it actually legitimately does feel difficult to breathe in it.
yeah, and that's at least something legitimate. But he's still choosing to do the right thing.
Yeah, and I
So
mean,
yeah,
granted, he definitely limits his activity, knowing that, hey, if I
and
vote
that's
for it,
understood. I mean,
yeah,
but
totally
also,
fine.
but also too, in the current state that the world is in, I don't really think that anybody, unless you're working within an industry that you have to be all day in a mask, why do you need to go into a store for 6 hours?
Exactly.
You
Like,
don't.
where are you going?
You,
Everything's
yeah,
closed, Karen.
yeah.
Everything.
You go and get what you need, and you go home.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, you don't have to wear your mask in the car
Nope,
because you're
sure
by
don't.
yourself. And I
Unless
mean,
you're
like,
worried about where you've been.
yeah. I mean, it's like ridiculous though, and I'm seeing these women. Well, I'm not even going to say women. I've seen these people because there have been the Karens and the Kyles alike who
Yes.
have had these videos out where they are spending 45 minutes screaming, bitching, moaning, literally harassing, destroying property, etc., all in the name of I can't wear a mask. Now, the 45 minutes that they spend in these stores verbally attacking these employees who are doing their legal correct job, and it is not an infringement on the anti-maskers, etc. You know what I mean? Like they act
Right,
like it's an
right,
infringement
right.
on
Yeah.
their health and whatnot. No, it's not. So stop acting like that. You're dumb. But
Yes.
in this time that they spend screaming and spewing all of their plague rat disease all over the place, they could have easily had their mask on, purchased stuff, and been home
Right.
and not become the viral idiot on the internet.
Like, I don't know, a bunch of people like marching through Target, ripping their masks
Oh, how
off.
ridiculous. The best part of that one, though, I have to say, because, again, I don't like to act like this, but it's obviously all, based on the Trump supporters because that's the ones
Right.
who are, he's the one that's forcing people to act out in their ignorant rage. But they're filming the onlookers while they were doing this. And I'm like, do you realize that you're the assholes, not the other way around?
Right.
The people watching you aren't the assholes. Because,
Fuck me for trying to be a conscientious member of society and protecting my fellow, human
yeah,
beings by not spreading a potential deadly plague. Yeah, damn me,
exactly.
I'm the dick, huh?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Did you see? I saw. I mean, because they're trying to like just with their antics, they're trying to prove that it's ridiculous by doing super ridiculous things.
Which again is the problem because they're being ridiculous and they're not proving a point. They're
Right.
just being ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah, but they're definitely going to extremes with this crap.
So there was a dude in England that got on the bus with a snake wrapped around his face as his mask.
Please tell me that's bullshit.
It is not.
Okay, well then please tell me that that snake used its intelligence and sheer muscle and choked the living shit out of him.
No, that snake failed us because that snake let that man just keep on living. But yeah, there was a pictures that went viral, and the guy's got the snake wrapped around the bottom half of his nose and his mouth, like his mask. And then I guess, the person that took the picture thought that they had a really bizarre mask on at first until the snake started to unwind and wrap itself around the railing inside of the bus.
Oh my God.
Now, see, that's the problem about using snakes as masks because they're going to do what they want.
but see, I will give him only one piece of credit for being this ridiculous anti-masker when it comes to that, because at least he has a reason when his mask comes off. Unlike everybody else.
I mean, a snake going to do what a snake's going to do.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, it's I'm like, okay, I don't even know what to do with y'all anymore. I can't.
I'm telling you, I'm getting real fed up with these people who are acting like it's their civil liberties that are being taken away. And you're taking our civil liberties away by acting like a moron and doing this.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I'm getting to the point where because it is mandate now, and these people acting like they don't have to do it because there is no law that they have to, and they're covered under section, whatever made up numbers they throw out. Exactly.
That section.
Yeah. That it's getting to the point where literally I appreciate the employees of stores trying to themselves be right because they're paid to do so,
right?
But when these people come in and they say, I'm sorry, but you're not allowed to come in without a mask, and they start their shit, they automatically need to call 911. Don't even talk to them. Call 911 and say, I'm being threatened, and get these fuckers out of there.
Don't engage,
because I'm sorry, but them not wearing a mask is a threat. So
and them acting like a fool is a threat too. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Damn people. And when those aliens better come pick us up soon, because I'm getting real sick of this shit.
I'm telling you. I keep standing in my backyard every night and just hopping a little bit, hoping that they'll finish me with my ascent up.
I am never going to get to go to Disneyland again because of these dicks, and I'm getting real pissed about it.
Yeah. I've never even been there, but yes, I agree.
For real? You've never been to Disneyland?
Honey, I don't like children things.
But Disney is not. Wait, I'm sorry. You just said children things.
Yeah.
And now I'm feeling personally attacked because it is not for just children.
I was going to say, first off, don't feel attacked. I told your children I wouldn't like them till they were 18. They were okay with it.
Yeah, no, I don't care about kids. I don't like them either. It's Disneyland is a magical place for people of all ages.
Based on cartoon things, and I don't like cartoons.
Okay, but Disney cartoons is a big difference.
It's still a cartoon.
Oh, bitch, I'm gonna fight you. Okay,
okay, when I was little, do you remember how when you were little you'd get up real early on Saturday mornings to watch the cartoons?
Yeah, I never got up early.
Okay. Do you remember when you were forced to wake up early noonish when you were a child?
Yes.
And would watch cartoons?
Yes. I mean, other people did that. Yes, I know.
I never did that because I purposely wouldn't do that because I didn't like cartoons.
Yeah, no, I would wake up around noon when Soul Train was coming on. So that was.
Oh, I did like Soul Train.
That's what I would usually watch. Soul Train.
Now, if that was considered a cartoon, I'd be all about it.
Yeah, Soul Train was, when I was waking up around noonish, that was usually what was coming on.
Did you really wake up that late even as a child?
Yes.
That's gross.
I always have had terrible insomnia my whole life. And
oh my God.
Yeah. So I would always be up all night long and sleep until,
See, I can't. I feel like that's wasting the day.
But see, my day extends on the back end, so it's not wasting it.
Well, I get that, but I mean, I like to see the sunset and sunrise, you know?
Yeah, I don't even like the sun, so it's fine.
Well, I don't either, but I still like to see what it does, you know?
It's true.
Which, speaking of the great state of Ohio, I feel like has had some backlash from your area because the sun and the moon rising and setting the past couple of days, and I haven't even told you guys this yet, but it's been this creepy, like orangish color.
Oh yeah, you're probably getting a
And
residual smoke.
yeah, and it's weird because well, actually, when the sun is rising, it looks like the moon.
Oh, that's
And
weird.
when the moon is coming up, it looks like the sun, if that makes any sense. It's so crazy looking.
Oh yeah. Like yeah, we finally have blue skies again. Thankfully, we got rain. I
Mm.
think it was the rain dance I did naked in my backyard.
Oh, nice. So
Neighbors
it
neighbors didn't
extinguished the
appreciate it.
fires?
Yeah.
Okay.
Neighbors didn't appreciate it, but
Your neighbors don't appreciate you for anything.
I know
Let's
they're
just,
fuckers.
yeah, they're ignorant.
Well, it didn't completely extinguish the fires, but it did tamp down the smoke and
Mm.
help alleviate some of it. So
So enough to at least make it safer and
yeah, because like
yeah.
we were breathing shards. It felt like we were breathing in shards of glass.
I
Like
thought I thought you just said we were breathing in sharks.
yes, the air was quite sharty.
Oh,
It was really awful though because it was like it's you go outside and you can't breathe because the air is so clogged and thick, but then it
yeah.
also smelled like barbecue and it made me hungry, so it was confusing. I didn't know. I was
Oh,
like, and now I feel guilty because it was probably
yeah.
like all these little Bambis in the forest that I'm smelling, but down they smell good.
I mean, barbecue is barbecue, though, no matter how you look at it.
Right?
So
Like I mean I know you don't like
yeah.
barbecue, but I do.
Well,
And
it's not even I don't like barbecue sauce.
well, we weren't putting sauce on nothing. This was
Okay,
natural
like
barbecue.
yeah, yeah. Like I'm okay if you want to put some like ketchup or even mustard or even mayonnaise.
Ketchup?
But
Ketchup.
I can't do barbecue sauce
I
though.
know, but
That's what I'm
did you
saying.
just say ketchup?
If I had to have a topping on something, it can't be barbecue sauce. So I would be even okay with ketchup for that reason.
I don't
I'm
even
not.
know if I can be friends with you anymore that you want to put
Wait,
ketchup on shit.
you don't like ketchup at all?
I like ketchup, but it's like you don't put ketchup on anything but fries.
Oh no, we definitely can't be friends anymore.
Yeah, that's
This
it. We're done.
this is our last
Done.
podcast.
We are officially done. This bitch is trying to smother things in ketchup.
Oh my god, you've never had a chicken nugget in ketchup?
Oh no!
You're blasphemous. I'm sorry.
You have
You.
just committed the crime of the century.
Well, I probably have done that. but it's not because of ketchup.
Chicken nuggets in ketchup.
Yes.
How?
Have you ever had it?
I won't have it.
Then that's your problem. You don't know
No,
what you're missing.
it's ketchup.
It's ketchup is delicious.
Ketchup's not that great. It's
You
not
you do
in the food
realize
pyramid. It's not that great.
you do realize that I don't live too far away from the Heinz factory. So I mean like,
What did
you
they
know,
do? Like, a concentrated propaganda campaign when you were in elementary school?
yes, they did actually. I stick tried and true to the things in my area. And I'm sorry, but if the Heinz factory is here, I am eating all the ketchups. Okay. That's why I endorse the ketchup. I endorse Sharon Needles and I endorse flying. All those things are from my areas.
Okay, but tell me at least, I mean, you don't like mayonnaise too, do you?
Oh my god. Okay. So do you not like mayonnaise at all?
I can uh, I can eat it in some things.
Okay, because this may be a criminal offense if you say you don't like mayonnaise, but the best thing in the world to do, and I hate that I'm even going to say this because I'm endorsing the anti-LGBT company Chick-fil-A. But if you take their waffle fries and dip them in mayonnaise, oh my Jesus God, that is the most delicious
I'm
decadent
gonna
thing you could
gag.
ever
I'm gonna gag.
imagine. No, they're
I'm
wonderful.
gonna gag. I'm gonna.
They're
Uh,
It's
no.
it's delicious
How
and
can you
decadent.
even put that in your mouth?
Mm.
He does it just like, that has a
do,
worse consistency than semen.
do you realize the things I put in my mouth and you're sitting there asking me about mayonnaise? Have we not been friends for decades?
Ugh.
I mean,
Dipping fries in mayonnaise. How? Why? Jesus
be,
Lord, help this child.
because it is the most delicious thing you'll ever encounter.
I don't
Yes.
I don't believe that. I can't believe it. Just the thought of putting that in my mouth like literally makes me like my whole body lock up in like a seizure of pain and fear.
I'm starting to worry about you a little bit, Theta.
I,
Because I thought you and I had a combined love of food and experimenting with foods and trying things the right way, and you're just all kinds of like hating on me today. And I don't know if I could do this anymore.
I mean, the good news is that you can have all my mayonnaise and my ketchup. So when we're on vacation again together, when COVID finally gets its ass out of this country, um, we can split things and you can eat your nasty ass mayonnaise on your own. You can have mine. I will give it to you. And I'll take all your barbecue sauce.
You could have my barbecue sauce,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'm going to go on vacation with you ever again if you're going to be like that.
Why, I'm offering to give it to you and watch you eat it.
Have you seriously though? Let me ask you this, like being dead serious. Have you never met me? Because you know I love all condiments equally.
Yeah, I just
I
didn't
I
realize that you would
love.
just eat globs of mayonnaise.
Well, I don't just like put a spoon in the jar.
I mean, you might as well if you're just shoveling it into your mouth on a waffle
Hey,
fry.
until you try it once, you can't say shit. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I will say that
But
mayonnaise makes me gag.
but I love me my mayonnaise. I love me my ketchup. I love mustard, and I love the regular mustard, the grainy mustard, the Dijon varieties.
I like mustard.
I will take that cheap cheese sauce out of a can. Anything that I can dip something into something else and keep my illustrious waistline.
You're for it.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm very particular about my condiments.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to revisit that a little bit as
Okay.
far as our friendship is concerned. But
Okay,
but speaking
I'm
of that though, I feel like that's something that would like gain me like a Guinness World Record for like, the amount of like condiment I put on per French fry nugget. And I mean, can't you see it now?
okay, but can we just talk about Guinness World Records for a minute?
And how I deserve one for ketchup
You,
consumption.
you probably do. I'm gonna guess that you probably do. But so do you remember like when you were little and like the book fair would come and they would always have the Guinness Book of World Records or they would have it in the library and like everybody was always wanted to check that book out and read that book because it was like, oh, like let's see, who has the longest piece of bubble gum chewed in the history of
or,
ever.
or who has the world's longest pinky toenail.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Longest mole hair.
Yes.
And so like I just saw in the news this week that some Austrian man sat like for 2.5 hours on a box of ice to break his own world record. And like I don't I can understand us as kids having fascination with that because it was like some dumb random shit, right?
But why as an adult would you want to do that?
Yeah, because it's like it's adults that are breaking all these records, not the
Yeah.
kids. And so it's like, why, as a, let's say 30 something year old adult, you're like, you know what I should do? I should
I
totally
should sit in
sit
a
in a
bucket of
box of
ice.
ice for like
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Well, but that was my point because I'm kind of like, why as an like, okay, if we were 10 years old and I said, Theta, I want to see who could sit in a box of ice longer, you'd be like, okay, let's do it. Because
Like,
we're children, we're dumb.
right.
But like
But
when you're in your 30s, yeah, like if somebody were like, "Hey, Maxine, why don't you go sit in a box of ice?" I'd be like, "Why don't you go fuck yourself? I'm gonna go sit in the living room and watch TV." Right?
right? Like, at what point do we grow up and like stop like feeling like these things are like, I mean, these are adults doing this over and over again. Like,
Yeah.
some of these people are actually like growing out like their fucking pinky toe nail
Yeah,
so that they
just to
can
make
get
sure
into
they
the
could get
book.
into, yeah.
Like, what do you get from that? You don't even get anything. I don't even think you get
Yeah.
a copy of the Guinness Book World Records. I think you got to buy that
Yeah,
and
I
get
don't,
in it.
actually, I don't think you do get a free copy when you're in there. I
No.
think you do get like a plaque or certification or something, I think.
Yeah, and then
But I think
what?
you still have to buy your edition. Yeah.
Yeah, you still gotta
Yeah.
buy. I don't even get a free copy of the book for winning. Like,
Yeah.
what is the point? Like, why are we obsessed with this?
Now, I'm curious, is there by chance a category for longest time spent sitting in one position watching television nonstop?
Were you feeling like you could just by default win one?
I mean, well, first, if there isn't a category, there should be. And either way you look at it, I should be the winner of it because
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I think my ex is gonna beat you at that because she just fell and broke her ankle.
yeah, but I'm healthy. So you get what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's
true.
yeah, it's like my natural vibe. And
Like this is just my existence.
yeah, like I understand injuries are there and they suck. And when that happens, at least I'm grateful that people have, hours of multiple ways of watching TV shows, movies, etc. But
Right.
that's my life.
Oh my God.
I
Can you
mean,
imagine like in the old days, like before TV when you broke your leg?
no. Can you imagine the
Oh
days
my
before TV?
God.
Let's just leave it
Yeah.
at that.
When
So,
everybody used to like sit around by like candlelight and like talk to each other like
yes. Okay.
weirdos.
Do you want to hear do you want to hear the funniest story about no electricity and TV or internet stories?
Yes. Okay.
Actually, okay, so this is kind of going back to, well, it's not based on this, but it's reminding me of when we had the conversation about the two friends getting to move to the island in Ireland
Oh
that was
yes,
primitive,
yes.
and how they were going to use this as Wicker Men ritual sacrifices.
Yes.
Well, my friend, about yeah, it was 3 years ago, invited me for the first time ever to go camping. And I was like, oh my God, camping. I would love to go. Are we staying at a 4-star hotel or a 3-star? And they kind of looked at me and chuckled. And then but of course the chuckle was awkward because they were partially like, wait, he's joking, but no, he's not. Like I know they really didn't know where to handle this. So they're like, no, like for real camping, like we're going primitive camping. And I'm like, wait, what's primitive camping? And I'm thinking, like, does that mean you have to go like pick your own nuts and berries off the trees? And, and they're like, yeah, no, we're doing like, a campsite that has no cable, no internet access, no electric access to electricity, no bathrooms. And I was like, why would we do this? Right? I'm like totally lost and confused. But then part of me was intrigued. I have plenty of Amish communities near me. And I keep saying to myself, like, I wonder what it'd be like to be Amish. So I'm like, it's for 3 days. It was like a Friday, Saturday, and we came home Sunday night.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see what it's like. I'm gonna go primitive and and see what it's like to not play Candy Crush every day. So we're driving there, and part of me also kind of thought it was a little bit of a hoax because we were going to a campsite per se.
Right.
So I'm thinking, oh, there's still going to be internet access and all this. So we're driving there, and of course, I have my Spotify on my radio playing, and you of all people will appreciate this because it was Britney Spears playing at the time.
Yes.
And I was flipping my hair and, doing my thing. Gimme, and all of a sudden, everything went silent.
Oh no.
And I looked and I saw no device connected because obviously it was my phone connected to my Bluetooth in my car.
Right.
And I went, because I then realized this shit's real.
Oh my God. They were actually making you go to the middle of nowhere.
It was literally in the middle of nowhere. We were about 20 minutes away from the campsite, and I had lost all civilization.
Well, how'd you even find the campsite?
They knew where it was at because
Oh my God.
they're
Like
smart,
fucking Lewis and
nature
Clark and
people.
shit.
Yeah,
navigate
exactly.
the wilds.
Well, okay. Can I start off by saying when we were driving there anyway, because this was in the mountains of Pennsylvania. Okay.
Okay.
So I think you understand what Pennsylvania's like anyway. So
Yeah.
we are driving. We stop about well, not even halfway, about like, yeah, almost halfway there to do a bathroom break. So it was the last gas station that they knew of where we can, use a bathroom and have some electricity to see where we were going and all this stuff for a few. So anyway, long story short, we get out of the car and I felt like, oh God, we're in the middle of like, what was that movie?
Deliverance.
Thank you. We're in the middle of Deliverance because we get out of the car and there's these three like booted, tight jeans, big belt buckle, flannel shirts, standing propped up against the side of the gas station building, just standing there, not talking to each other, not looking at each other, just standing there, watching this big flamboyancy known as myself getting out of my car to go pee pee in the potty. So already right then and there, I'm like, this is the beginning of one of those scary movies where, a group of friends go into the woods to camp and they kill the faggot first. And, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the Britney music stopped and I was like, oh God, this is real. And my friends actually, after we got to the campsite, told me, so we know the dead zone where it happens. Did you have a bit of a panic attack and almost turn around? And I went, yeah. And they said, okay, because we were wondering when we looked in our rearview mirror and all of a sudden you were like a half mile behind us. Because I'm a fast driver. I started like having the hot sweats and I was like slowing the car down and I was shaking a little bit. Shockingly, though, my friends were probably more impressed with me than anything because they said they thought I was going to fail within the first 20 minutes of being there. And I was actually one of the best at trying to keep the shit together and doing it right and had a good time in the end. So really long story. I survived, the wilderness and no cell phones for 3 days.
But can you do it permanently?
No.
Because you knew there was an end to that, right?
That was my only motivation.
Like, I have to survive this because there is an end to this.
Yes. And
but
so
yeah.
but I also vowed to myself going forward with the rest of my life, if anybody ever sits there and says, would you like to go camping with me? I'm only going to say yes if that camping is the 4-star hotel.
Yeah, and I don't understand how people want to freaking like sleep on nothing.
Oh, I even slept on a cot in a tent that I had a mattress thing built for, and it still sucked.
Yeah, like it's like really like awful.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to go sleep on the floor? Why?
I don't know. Like, I'm all about connecting with nature, but I mean, by that, I mean, I connect with it and I get back in my car and go home that same day.
Yeah, I really do like nature and I don't mind camping. It's just the whole sleeping on the floor part.
Yeah. I don't mind camping as long as I can go into a bed which is in a house that has electricity.
But also the manual labor part. I'm not too keen on that.
Yeah. That is another thing. I think it's hard enough, when you have to move your suitcase into your hotel room for the evening.
Yeah, like they make you want to like build a whole house.
Yeah.
And you're like, God damn it, I don't want to build a whole house.
It's really scary and I don't like it. And
me neither. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind it. Like, if somebody wants to take me camping and just be like, you don't have to do anything and we're going to bring a whole bed for you, then fine.
Yeah. I think, I actually thought about that after the fact too. Do you ever see they have those like luxury RVs?
Yes.
That have like, a kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom in it.
Yeah.
Like, I could see bringing that to a campsite and plugging it in somewhere.
Yes.
Because keyword, I still need my electricity and internets.
Yes.
Where I can wake up in the morning, take a shower, make myself a cup of coffee like a servant, but that's fine. And then go sit outside in the wilderness and drink it.
Yes, I am so down with that.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to get on a bicycle that has the grinder attachment on the other side of it that I have to grind my own coffee with. Like, that's not cute, That's not my thing.
So we are all for nature, just not for the manual labor that comes with it.
Yes.
I'm just going to pray to sweet Jesus that the world doesn't end in an apocalypse where we all have to convert back to those olden days.
Oh, I was gonna say, why don't you want the world to end? Oh, sorry, I should have let you finish your statement first.
So this is off top. It kind of has to do with the world ending, actually. So in a
Okay.
roundabout way.
Yes.
So I know today is the anniversary of the raid on
Oh,
Area
the Area
51.
51 ball. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yes. I saw that this morning on my Facebook feed, and I was, well, first I was like, oh my God, that was a year ago already?
right? Like I
Because
cannot believe it's
again,
already been a year.
yeah, I still actually think it's like the middle of March because I literally haven't left my bed for 6 months straight. So there is that. But yeah, how funny was that though? That whole shebang that they had
Okay,
going
but
on.
what if somebody actually got in and this whole
No, that
2020 is
is
like
because of
some
it.
alien virus that accidentally got released when these people raided Area
Well,
21?
well, 51.
Yeah,
You need to
whatever.
you
Math. Whatever,
you're
math.
no, whatever. You're planning to move to Las Vegas to go deep into the deserts where Area 51 is with your father and become an alien hunter. You
Look,
can't
if
call it Area 21.
as long as he knows the
It's
number, we're fine.
so as long as he knows the address.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even you don't even know me. We might be starting at Area 21 and working our way up to Area 51.
Next week's episode of Two Queens Checking In, Theta learns math.
No, Max D learns that there's an area 1 through 51 that we got to search first.
Oh my God. Well, so first and foremost, even though it started off with this whole hoax of, yeah, we're going to go and actually raid Area 51, that was never actually the intention. And
No.
they were kind of forced into like saying, okay, stop being idiots, guys. No, this is actually just a funny hoax that we were doing, but why don't we do like an Area 51 festival?
Yeah.
And they got like different people involved in it, and that even flopped and failed. But what I find the most funniest about this is literally, if you think of, because being that was a year ago today,
Right.
that was the craziest thing that we were dealing with back then.
Right?
I mean, that was some wild shit back then.
Yeah.
And
Back in
I say that like it was the 50s, like back in the days of 2019.
back in the olden days, that was the wackest shit we had to contend with was a bunch of idiots trying to run Naruto run at Area 51.
Oh,
But
yeah.
all
I
I'm
mean, like,
saying though is what if one of those jackasses actually got in and got something on them and this is what 2020.
I mean, I'll be the first to sit there and say valid point
I mean,
because, yeah,
we ain't got much else to explain to it. I'm sorry, but you trying to tell
yeah.
me that a bat caused all this. I'm not even 100% positive that that's going to be.
Well, it could have been a bat that flew into Area 51, escaping the attendees of the Area 51 festival. And he thought he was flying back to his cave in Area 21.
And he got lost.
And he got lost. So he flew down the wrong corridor, and there was the COVID section. And
Shit. See, that could be really what happened.
I mean,
We're blaming all these Naruto running motherfuckers for COVID. They scared that poor
oh,
bat.
and killed the entire world afterwards. Yes.
Yeah, so great, guys. I hope you're
Yeah.
happy. You thought it was all fun and games fucking with alien shit. Well, now where are we?
Just and just as a side note, I have to mention to you, Theta, keep that in mind when you start going into the deserts of Nevada trying to find this stuff. Just saying.
Well, as long as I know what area I'm actually in, I should be good not to be running
I
across any
mean,
biohazards.
yeah. I mean, I do know that your whole reason for doing the alien hunting is because you do want to try to find the abandoned hot dog shacks in the middle of the desert.
Oh my
And I'm cool
God.
by that. But I don't
I
want you to accidentally find the next deadly pandemic in the process. So,
No, but I mean, I am going to eat a hot dog when I find it.
as you should.
I mean, let's not get this twisted here. I am going to eat one of those hot dogs.
But I have to ask, will you have ketchup on that hot dog?
I will have a little bit of ketchup on a hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You and your
Mm-hmm.
Liza
I will.
Minnelli,
I will
talking about
have.
how French fries are the only thing allowed to have ketchup on
No,
them.
I will eat a
That's what
tiny
you
bit.
said.
These are my three things. And even it's not always, most of the time I eat my hot dog with just mustard, but occasionally I will fill like a little bit of ketchup.
Mhm.
And hamburgers, sometimes I'll eat ketchup on those too, every once in a while.
So hamburgers, ketchup, or hamburgers, fries, and hot dogs,
Yes.
and
Those are
that's
the
it.
only three things I will eat ketchup on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite topping on a hot dog
Okay. Are you
is?
going to make me gag again?
It shouldn't. I hope because
Okay.
again, unless we really have to rethink our friendship and our food love. But I love having a good hot dog with some chopped up onion, a big slathering of mustard, and then chili sauce on top, like the Coney
Oh,
Island chili sauce.
yeah, that sounds good right there. I can eat that.
Oh, tell me
Hmm.
that doesn't sound like an orgasm right there waiting to happen.
Yeah, I can eat that. I can handle that.
I just did the mic drop on that one. I was like, oh yeah.
But I will tell you because I've been working on, getting healthier
Mhm.
because I want to, travel and do all that shit and whatever once
and,
COVID lets me leave my house.
and pick up the men not holding fish.
Exactly. I've been eating like really low carb and whatever, and so I found
Hey,
these.
Sinister, we haven't seen you in forever. How's
Oh
it going?
yeah, hey. I found these low carb tortillas and I've been
Mhm.
eating hot dogs wrapped in those.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, look, tortillas were made to put anything in them. Like that
I
is,
agree.
a tortilla's purpose is to wrap that
Oh,
bitch up.
nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I would say Sinister said he's finally home with his
Oh,
family, so that's really
nice.
good to hear. I'm applauding you on that if you can hear it. I don't know.
Oh my.
But yeah, very glad to hear that because he was stuck here in the US during COVID. So
Oh, I didn't realize that.
yeah.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah. I actually, one of my favorite things to do with tortilla shells is I love just doing like the breakfast tortillas and I slather some hot sauce on it and some salsa verde, a little bit of
Mm.
cheese, some bacon, a whole bunch of other
Bitch,
stuff.
you're making my nipples hard.
I mean,
Like my nipples could cut glass right now.
yeah.
Talk to me about
uh,
tortillas some more.
I'm telling you. Best tortillas though were when I was in San Diego visiting you and we got to eat the ones that were like from 10 minutes from the
Fresh,
Mexican border.
right?
Yes.
Man, that's one thing I'm looking forward to moving back to Vegas is I'll only be 6 hours from those tortillas and it'll
Oh,
be worth the drive.
yeah.
Now, since we've been talking so much about food today,
Hmm.
there is something that and it's not just food, it's several other things I think combined with food, but there's something that really just is super annoying me that I have to feel the need to get it off of my chest.
Okay.
Okay, so it is September,
Hmm.
which is officially pumpkin spice season. And I'm really frustrated and annoyed with all these people who are shit talking pumpkin spice or anything that, they consider to be like a basic bitch kind of, favorite.
Okay, well, you're talking about my actual bougie pick of the week.
Yeah. Um,
So I agree with you because, well, first off, we're going to go a little out of order with this. So that is my bougie find of the week is
Yes.
pumpkin spice season because I am that basic white bitch when it comes to my PSLs,
Yeah,
and I
and
love it.
we'll talk about pumpkin spice, but I just want to kind of talk about that mentality
Yeah,
of like why we gotta be so hateful of what people love.
this is, I think, what the issue is. Now, I will be the first person to say, because you know as well as anybody, I hate the sun. I hate the warm. I hate sunshine and happiness. And I
Right.
like I like withering decay. I like gloomy gray days. I like rain. I like cold weather. So I literally am meant for October year round.
Right. Right.
This is, I think, what the difference is. So I do love a pumpkin spice latte, and I do love, even though I can't stand Uggs personally, I think that those are actually ugly. But that's just my opinion on them. But the
Right.
thing is what I think is not that they're hating on people for loving pumpkin spice. It's they're hating on this attitude. That whole like dumb girl, like, oh my god, I need a PSL and I have to wear my Uggs and I have to take selfies of me with duck lips, and I think that's really what the issue is.
I
I
mean,
don't think it's so much the hate of pumpkin per
I
se.
right. I don't think it's that, but what I think bothers me is like, does it really matter? Like, if that's what this girl wants to do or whoever to make herself happy in her life,
Oh, I
like
agree.
just shut
Do
the
it.
fuck up and let them
Yeah.
do it. Like, why
Yeah.
is there got to be so much like hate and like,
Yes.
oh, you're a basic bitch. So what?
Yeah.
She wants to
I'm a
be a
basic
basic
bitch.
bitch.
And
Let her
guess
be a
what?
basic bitch.
I'm proud of being a basic bitch. I love it.
Right? Like,
So,
if she's happy and content in her life and that's the choice
mhm.
that she's making, who the fuck are you to like denigrate every choice that she makes and make fun of it? Like,
Yeah.
you
Now,
don't
the
have to be best
only
friends with her.
exactly. But what I actually find really funny though are the guys who make fun of girls like this,
Oh yeah.
but they're all totally banging them. So I'm like,
Exactly. And that's the thing that
yeah,
really pisses me off
yeah,
is it is the men like that are talking shit about
yep,
these women for the most part.
yep,
And what I think they're doing, and I don't know if it's intentional, unintentional, what, but it's like it puts this divide between where like other women then start talking shit about other women because they
yeah,
think it's going to get them a man, even though they're just as basic of a bitch. And
yeah,
it's like, who gives a fuck? For one, men are going to come to the door, whether you're a basic bitch or the gothiest bitch or whatever your aesthetic, because men want pussy and they're going to come
exactly,
knocking no matter what you aesthetic you're doing,
yep,
because, at the end of the day, they're not going to
yeah.
care that much.
But what they're trying to do is that whole like toxic masculinity, keeping women at bay and keeping them catty at each other, and
Which is totally what we were supposed to talk about today was mansplaining, and I forgot.
oh yeah, I forgot about that too. So there we go. We just did it. Go us. Look at see, this is how you know we're 18 now because we get so far off topic that we actually talk about the
Let me
topic.
get back to our topics.
Oh, I live for it. But no, I
That
agree.
has
I
to be
think
it, though, right?
that's what I'm thinking because I can't. Okay, first and foremost, that's another thing in today's society that is like just grossing me the f out is this whole like, and again, I don't like to sound like that person, but it's all. And it's not even about Democrat or Republican. It's Trump people versus non-Trump people.
Right,
Because if you have any sense of moral code, you're not a Trump person.
right.
And then when you're the other people, you're sitting there going, well, you're a man, you have to watch NASCAR and football, and you can't drink coffee with a flavor in it because you're a pussy. And it's like, wait, so if you're a real man, you can't enjoy something tasty?
Right?
I don't get that. And this whole like I've heard before where like feminism is the true form of feminism isn't what feminists are putting out there. They're trying to turn women into men or something like that. Like true feminism is where women like to wear dresses and be at home with their
Oh
kids,
yeah.
and it's
That
like
yeah.
oh, so you're just trying to twist the words of truth so that you could keep being that barbaric asshole from the 1400s.
Exactly. And so then you like, will do things like, create a narrative of toxicity about women to
Yep.
pit them against each other.
And also, in addition to that, too, though, there's also that narrative of toxic masculinity that if you're not the same type of asshole, then you're not a real man.
Exactly. Yep.
I
And
actually,
so,
I actually found this really funny because I was in a public situation. I'm not going to give any further information because it was about when I was at work. I'll say that much.
okay.
So obviously, I can't give other detail away, but there was a person in our facility who was chatting with us, and the one says to me something about, "Oh, what'd you think about that game?" And I go, "Sorry, what game?" And he's like, "The football game that was on last." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't watch football." "Oh, what about the Lakers?" And I'm like, "Oh, who are they?" And so he's proceeding to ask me all these things about every single sport known to man. And I'm like, and I said multiple times, well, I don't watch sports. I'm not a fan of sports. I don't like sports. And then he's like, I've never met a man that doesn't like any sports. And I'm like, well, congratulations. Today's the day.
Ah, you win a prize.
Yeah. And the sad thing is I promise you that if men, and now mind you, I'm not sitting there acting like, that because I'm a man, but this is something that I've witnessed on the male side of toxic masculinity, that they have this preconceived, like, in order to be a real man, you like A, B, C, and D, and you hate, A, B, C, and D kind of deal.
Right, right.
And I've met so many men who, when you sit there and say you don't like football, and they're like, oh, I actually don't either. And you're like, oh, you don't? And they're like, no. I'm like, then why are you wearing a Steelers shirt? Oh, well, because that's what you got to do that. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't have to follow this stereotype that because you have a penis that you must like sports, that you must fuck pussy, that you must, drink beer and talk angry and like, yeah, like, no, that's not true. Like, and that bothers me because I find it, I can honestly tell you, if you actually were to do a poll and ask every single man how much they honestly liked whatever sport, I promise you, probably the numbers that they would produce from this would be so astounding that they'd probably be able to cancel sports. Because I really do feel like most men and their obsession with sports is all based on because they don't want to not feel masculine.
Yeah, and I feel like, the whole backlash against like, hipsters,
Yeah,
was a backlash against these men who were eschewing the toxic masculinity, not in all
yeah.
forms and not all of them, like,
No, and obviously, yeah, this isn't like every man in the world, but
exactly. But I think there was a lot of things inside of the hipster type of movement that people or whatever people coined as that,
yeah,
of them being more in tune with their own wants and likes
yeah,
versus what society as a whole was saying to. And I think that's
exactly.
why there was such a huge backlash against, hipsters this and hipsters that.
Well, of course, because they call them sensitive Sallies, and go
Exactly.
go cry in your little hipster corner, and yeah,
And it's not like that actually hipsters were a problem. It's
yeah,
society as a whole with their toxicity was like, oh, we can't
exactly,
have these men, deciding they want to do things outside of the norm. What is
yeah,
this?
exactly, and it appearing to be considered okay. Like
Yeah.
that's the worst part of it all.
Yes, God
Yes,
forbid. We are not going to put a stamp of approval on these shenanigans. No,
yeah,
no, no.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I find it like so disturbing because, and even too, like, okay, I've known people who, are women. I don't like to cook.
Me.
And that's exactly, you don't like to cook. And the thing
No.
is, do I see that as a problem? Yes. Do I see it as a problem because you're a woman? No.
I
because
see it as
I
a
think
problem because I need to eat.
no, I see it as a problem because I think every human should know how to cook because everybody has to eat. Now the thing
I know
is
how to cook.
I know you do, but
I just don't
what I'm
care
saying,
to.
yeah, but what I'm saying with it though is, I don't see it as a problem as if a woman doesn't want to cook. I see it as a problem that women are expected to cook.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying so. Like, even though I tease you with it, but it's like the point is I think everybody, man and woman, should know how to cook. But I get so disgusted the fact these men are like, well, my wife didn't make me dinner. Well, what? Why didn't you make it?
Yeah, that's
Or
never going to be
yeah,
me as
yeah.
a wife.
But then I also get really frustrated with these females that I know, who I've known for many of years to be strong, independent. That type of person that isn't about filling those gender stereotypical norms. And then they all of a sudden are like, I'm getting married. I made my husband brioche for dinner. And I'm like, why? You don't cook otherwise. Why are you cooking now? Why isn't he cooking? You know what I'm saying? It's like I struggle with that because it's not a male role, a female role.
Right.
Now, understood, I'll be the first person to sit there and say, are men typically deemed physically stronger by the build that they have? Yes. Are women created to have children where men can't? Yes. But that still doesn't mean that men are better or women are better, or we're still equal, just in different ways.
Right.
And I get so like over this shit when I seeing like, again, these women who are strong, self providing and able to do for their own. And then the minute they get married, all of a sudden they turn into that person that they spent all those years not being. Or, same with a man who could actually maybe be somewhat decent and normal, but the minute he gets married, he's, comes home and waits for his wife to make him dinner versus making it himself.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. I wash clothes and love it. I do it all the time. I cook dinner and I love it. Like that's why you and I would make the perfect marriage because you could be the person in the role that goes to work and does all the other duties, and I will sit at home and make the house pretty.
Yeah,
Now,
could you?
yeah, but is that problematic that it's because I'm the man cleaning the house and you're the woman going to work? Like, what would that, what's that matter?
I think the biggest problem in our marriage would be the fact that you don't like vagina.
But see, that would also be the best part of it because think about how easy it would be for you to step out on me without having to worry about me getting upset by it.
Oh my god, it's true. We could just cheat on
Yeah,
each other all over the place.
constantly. Because the thing is you do realize the minute you walk out that door every morning to go to work, I'm calling the plumber with yet another issue with
Somebody
my
come and clean these pipes again,
my
please.
pipes need cleaned, sir.
All right, we're gonna have to really think this through because I think this might work.
I'm seriously thinking it too. I'm actually on the Zales website right now looking for engagement rings. And by that I mean the ones I want you to buy me because
I was gonna say.
no, yeah,
I know you're gonna want more bling than me.
Yeah, we're not doing this like the whole heteronorm way. Like I'm the one wearing the fabulous gown with the 13 karat engagement ring and
oh, thank God, because
yeah.
if I had to wear heels, I would be. I can't.
The one really nice thing that you and I were to get married, I realized though is I don't have to worry about my hair not looking good for our wedding day because I could have that thing made like a month in advance.
Oh my God, you could.
And I don't have to worry about fussing with it the day of. Think about it. All I have to do is make sure I have enough wig glue to attach it down that day.
You'll be fine.
Yes.
So, since I kind of subverted the bougie pick of the week, let's circle back to it though because it's important.
But you really didn't though because because my whole thing. I mean, granted, that was my bougie pick, but first and foremost, I will say. One thing I love about this time of year is the whole pumpkin spice latte season, but I do also get fed up with pumpkin spice ravioli and pumpkin spice kashi breakfast cereal and pumpkin spice lasagna and like, okay, we don't need all that.
We probably do need to calm down just a little bit.
Yeah, like I personally do not like pumpkin pie because I cannot handle LSD made me God. How are you doing today? I live for your name. That's epic. Just saying. Um, so we had a new joiner. I don't know if you saw that, Theta.
Now I see,
Yeah.
but LSD also made me try to step off of a bridge, but that's another story for
Ooh,
another time.
that's next week's episode.
Yeah.
We're currently talking about how PSL made me God. But so yeah, I'm that basic white bitch. I love me my pumpkin spice latte. I'm okay with having a pumpkin roll or, a cake that's pumpkin flavored, etc. But I don't personally like pumpkin pie because I'm a texture person.
Mm.
So even though I love the flavor and taste of pumpkin, I can't stand that gloopy gelatinous feel that pumpkin pie has. It to me is like what mayonnaise is to you.
Yeah, that's yes, but I
Yes.
love pumpkin pie, so
Well, but that's so there. Okay, I'll forgive you about the mayonnaise then. So we can compromise now.
now we're
Now that we have
even.
a yes. But the thing is like I do love pumpkin, but I don't need to see pumpkin in cereal and in main courses and in drinks and in alcoholic cocktails. Like, let's stick to a couple things and leave it at that.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
the marketers
but
have gone a little bit overboard. They were like, "Oh, you bitches like pumpkin spice. I'll give you some pumpkin spice. Hold up."
yeah. See, I'm so sorry, LSD, but I bake and cook, and I've baked and cooked since I can remember. Like I think I actually baked before I learned how to walk, and that's I love all flavors and tastes, but I struggle with texture, and I think it's because of that baking background for me. Because I overanalyze all foods that way because I'm actually a super picky eater because of that. But so anyway, but with my bougie pick, I considered it to be the PSL season as my bougie pick of the week because this is the perfect time of year. I woke up today, curled up in my blankets. It was still dark enough outside at 6 a.m. that I didn't want to get out of bed. And I'm like, what better way to be bougie but to sit on the couch with a PSL, a big blanket wrapped around you,
And watch
watching,
porn.
well, that too, but I was going to say watching one of those dumb Hallmark movies where the girl goes to the country cottage in autumn and falls in love with the man of her dreams and blah, blah, barf and all that kind of.
Oh, I was just thinking nothing would keep you warmer than a little bit of porn.
She's but that's impressive. Did you
Well,
cut back on wet ingredients as a toddler for drool? Maybe. I I was never a toddler. I went from being infant to full grown diva adult. So thank you.
this is true.
Yes. But yeah, so that's my pick of the week is go and get you into the fall time festivities, get ready and excited for this dreary weather. This is the time of year where I like just totally excel and succeed in life because this is my jam.
This is your jam. I'm telling you, you should
Yes.
move up here to the Pacific Northwest. You get that like 9 months out of the year.
Yeah, but the difference though is you guys don't get like the tundra winters like we get. And I love that.
No, we don't get the tundra winters.
Yeah.
So
I actually thinking of I really wish I could move further up north to get a little bit more into that. So
Canada, as you try
yeah,
to
well,
bleach the
I mean,
border.
it was a small bit of lake that I would have had to swim over, but it would have been worth it. So
Ooh.
now you are a diva adult and someone's baby. Hmm?
So I'm gonna
Well,
maybe
I, are
depends
you
on
are you
the
asking to be
hookup.
my sugar baby? Cause yeah, I'm single. I hate all humans. I'm actually more just a whore because I don't prefer to have that whole like cuddling and love. I'm like as soon as I get my thing done, I'm like okay, get out of the back of my car, let's get going.
Bye.
Yeah, Theta, would you like to explain your relationship status?
I don't have one. I'm
Hers just doesn't exist.
yeah.
Yeah, you might want to listen to episodes 13 through 17 to understand what's been going on in Thea's
My
life.
relationship, my status is come at me, bitch, and see.
Yeah.
If you're brave enough, maybe we can make it work. We'll see.
Yes. So
All
I did want
right.
to just say, though, I know we are wrapping up for the day, but I do want to remind everybody that we are on Instagram at Those Two Queens. And then also Theta's personal page is at Theta Valley and mine is at Maxine Factor. And we only have 2 episodes left after today because Theta's going to be working on her big move to a new land, and I'm going to be working on my new YouTube channel, and things are going to be all kinds of sad and depressing because the 2 queens are going to be temporarily checking out. I just went on a ramble fit. Sorry.
Yeah, but we're going to be checking into new fabulous life, so
It's
we'll have a lot
true.
more to tell you later on.
Yes.
So
And I don't quote me because I don't like to get my hopes up, but I think next week's bougie pick is going to be a sneak peek into my YouTube channel.
ooh, girl, get it.
So I just have to make sure I get enough of this stuff done this week to be able to go
Yeah.
there. Because YouTubing's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
This is hard.
It's scaring me, and I've had to I can't sleep and things.
All right, everybody.
So,
These 2 queens are checking out until next week. We will.
yes,
If I can get my
we
phone to
are.
recognize my face, we'll do it.
Take the mask off.
Yeah. All right. Peace out,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye, bitches.
Bye.
Mwah.